At Scalar, along with leading AI products, I also teach. I primarily teach around distributed systems, which is when you build software systems, how do you build software systems in a way that they are able to handle crores of users? For example, a video streaming platform. All of you watch IPL matches, right? Building a video conferencing platform, a video streaming platform, if you have 10 users or 100 users is easy. But when the number of users that are there is in crores, like in an IPL, there are 10 crore people that are watching, that are live streaming an IPL match, it becomes difficult. So I primarily teach distributed systems, how to build systems that will be able to handle a scale, the scale of things like YouTube, Hotstar, Geo Cinema, etc., etc. So in Scalar School of Technology as well, when people come to these courses, I typically teach them. But yeah, coming back to the topic, today we are going to help all of you realize if computer science is a good decision for you, if you should choose computer science or you should not choose that. We'll also talk about the different branches, because to make a good decision, it's important for you to know about all the branches that exist, what are the pros and cons of each branch, and then make a decision. We will also be sharing at the end of the session a psychometric test with all of you. You can give this psychometric test to understand what are your strong points, understand what are the things that you can work upon, and this can also play a role in you deciding which branch to go with. Okay, cool. So let us start. Let us start with the very first topic for the day, which is engineering in general. An overview of engineering. Okay, a question for all of you. What do you think engineering means? I mean, what is the meaning of the word engineering? Is it writing code? Is it what? What does engineering mean to you? What does being an engineer mean to you? Building something, creative, innovating. Okay, good. Anyone else? Correct. I think one word is coming very common, which is actually the correct answer. Engineering is basically creating. You create things. For example, if you are creating bridges, if you are creating houses, that is what civil engineers do. If you are creating cars, if you're creating machines, that is what mechanical engineers do. If you're creating software systems, if you're creating technology, that is what software engineers do. If you're creating electrical circuits, electrical devices, that is what electrical engineers do. So at one point, engineering is nothing but the art of creating. And that is why engineers are respected a lot. Because engineers are the people who create the world as you see around you. If engineers would not have been there, there would not have been houses, beautiful monuments around you. There would not have been buildings like maybe Burj Khalifa, which is like standing so tall. There would not have been a lot of software systems that you see around you. There would not have been any Google. There would not have been any Facebook. There would not have been any Instagram. There would not have been cars that are going at a so fast pace. There would not have been space shuttles that would have been going to moon. All of that is the work of engineers. Engineers make the future happen. Engineers create the things. If engineers were not there, the things around us would not even have been there. They are at the forefront of technology. Okay. Now, based upon the types of things that engineers create, there are different types of engineering branches. These branches will teach you different kinds of things. Now, what are those branches? Let's start with the first one, which used to be very popular multiple years ago, which was civil engineering. Civil engineering used to be a branch that used to be as hyped as software engineering is today. What do civil engineers do? Civil basically means society. They create the society around you. They create the houses. They architect the monuments. They architect the buildings. Okay, they architect the bridges. They architect the roads. This is what they do. Basically building the social infrastructure around houses, buildings, monuments, roads, all of those kind of things. For example, if today government has to create a very fast highway or they have to create a very fast way for people to come from Mumbai to Delhi. Civil engineers will be consulted on how this kind of project can be executed. They will say that, okay, we will have a highway from here to there, then we will have a railway from here to here. They make the infrastructure that you see around you, like roads, etc., happen. Everyone clear with the primary purpose of civil engineers? Perfect. Okay. Then after civil engineering, another branch that started becoming popular, this was the next one, was actually mechanical engineering. What is mechanical engineering? Once the basic infrastructure existed, roads existed, monuments existed, people wanted to visit them. People wanted to automate a lot of things. That is where mechanical engineers came up. Mechanical engineers build things like maybe your cars. They build machines. Mechanical is basically tied to machines. A lot of motors around you. All of that are a work of mechanical engineers. Okay, so you have very fast cars that are running. You have, for example, in agriculture, if you think of agriculture, a lot of work is a giving of mechanical engineer. How will the tractors operate? How will they have very good efficiency? How will you make them use less energy? Even the work of aeroplanes, a lot of work in aeroplanes is actually mechanical engineering. How will I structure the machines so that a flight can fly, so that it will use as less fuel as possible, so that it will go from here to there in the fastest amount of time? Basically working around the physics. They exploit the physics of nature. That, okay, this is how the aeroplane speed is there, this is how I will make the flight happen, this is how I will make the ship sail. All of that is what comes under mechanical engineering. Everyone clear with high level of what mechanical engineers do? Yes, ship, aeroplanes, etc. is that. Then the next one comes, so machines exist, etc. existed, but now you have to power those machines. One way of powering those machines, which used to happen when mechanical engineers were there, was primarily coal, etc. But now you need more efficient ways of powering those machines. If the world around you is having a lot of machines, a lot of computers, you need to give them energy. This is where electrical electronics engineers come into the picture. Okay. Electrical engineers, they will basically everything around energy. Everything around energy. Okay. How will I build good sources of energy? How will I supply the energy in the most efficient way? How can I generate new energy? All of that comes there. Okay. And then finally, when all of this physical infrastructure was there, digital infrastructure started coming into the picture. What is digital infrastructure? Digital infrastructure is the things that you see very commonly around you as of the day. For example, things like computers, things like maybe all of the electronic devices. This is what gave birth to two branches. And these two are the branches that are heavily paid, that are highest paid as of the day in today. These are electronics engineering. And the second one is computer engineering. And both of them today have a scope of paying you a huge amount of money. In fact, most of the people who earned huge amount of money from Nvidia's stock growth, those were electronics engineers. Why? Because these were the people who were working on building those GPUs. These were the people who were building on chips. All of the semiconductor chips that you see around you. All of that is what electronics engineers did. So they also earned a huge amount of money. And computer engineers are the ones who make the computer systems around you happen. For example, any software that goes on them, any application that is there. This is what is built by the computer engineer. High level, these are the different branches that exist. Everyone clear with a high level overview of these branches? Perfect. Now, before I even start doing a deep dive into computer engineering, one important aspect is what are some prerequisites for engineering in itself? Prerequisites for engineering. What are the basic things that are needed to be an engineer Be it whatever engineer, be it mechanical engineer, be it electrical engineer, be it electronics engineer, what are the basic requirements for being an engineer? The very first basic requirement is curiosity. To be able to build something, an important thing is to be able to imagine that can this happen. For that, it is important to know how the world works, to be curious that what are the problem statements around me, why the world does not work in that way. Great engineers find opportunities that, hey, why the world does not work this way, why does this not happen. They are curious about everything. For example, if an aeroplane is flying at this height, why is aeroplane flying at this height? If a software is taking, if you open an application and an application is taking 5 seconds to open, why is it taking 5 seconds to open? Why is it not opening immediately? That is the curiosity, basically asking why for everything. If you don't have the curiosity, you will not be able to figure out the problem statements, you will not be able to build solutions. That's the first thing. Then the second thing is creativity. If you are curious, you will know a lot of things. If you are curious, you will know a lot of things. It will teach you a lot of things. Okay. But if you know a lot of things, unless you are able to come up with good solutions from that, if you're able to, for example, if you know that this is how a screen works, but if you don't build a television from it, you're not going to be able to earn a lot of money. You need to use that curiosity to create something great. This is where creativity comes into the picture. Basically, imagining the future, imagining what can be built. Imagining what can be built. Okay. You have to be creative enough. Why can this not be built? Everything that you see around you is a product of creative imagination of someone. That let us try to build this, let us try to make this happen. They create the future. And then the third thing is problem solving. Whenever you will go on creating anything, you will face some problems will be complex, some problems will be easy. But you will definitely face a lot of problems, which at many times will make you think if I should stop, if I should quit. Problem solving is going to be very helpful for you to be able to navigate through the different problems that will come up, which they will. So these three things are a prerequisite. If you think that you don't have any of those, and neither do you want to gain these creativities, these things, unfortunately, you cannot be a great engineer, especially with how the society is going on. So either make a resolution that yes, I will ensure that I have these traits, or go into some other domain. That's frankly how you should make a decision. And here I'm trying to tell you on how to get to the best levels beyond your job. Today, many of you might be coming from different kinds of backgrounds. Many of you might be from families where unfortunately the money is not that much. But being a great engineer can bring you from rags to riches. I know many people, many of my friends at Google, who used to come from a society where they had to even pay their college fees. And now, even in just like 5 years of experience, they are earning like 1.5 CR every year. That is doable by engineering. So, engineering is a branch where if you have curiosity, if you can create things using that and solve all of the problems that will come around you, you can go from rags to riches. And I think all of you should have the motivation that you are going into that domain. Okay? Cool. Now, this is what engineering is. This is what are the things that are going to help you build a better engineer. Now, let us go into the branch of interest for all of you. Which is that branch that we are caring about? That branch is computer science engineering. That's fine. Okay, every other branch I know that my family members have told me, my friends have told me that other branches don't have a lot of jobs. So let us get into computer science. Is computer science really a good fit for me or not? Perfect. Now, what is computer science engineering? Computer science engineering is the art of building software. Okay. What do we mean by that? See, around you these days, you see a lot of technical components, a lot of electronics. You see your laptop, you see your mobile phone, you see your iPad. These days, smart devices are coming into the picture, right? These days, VR devices are coming into the picture. Everything is there. Okay. Now, how do those devices do what is expected from them? For example, how does a laptop, when you click on a browser button, open a browser? How does a laptop, when you type google.com, open up Google in it? How does a laptop, when you press a particular button, open up this Windows environment? Everything happens via code. What is code? Code is the art of programming a hardware circuitry to achieve the necessary result. For example, at the end, if I remove the code from my laptop is just a box. It's nothing. It's just a black box. Nothing is there. It will not do anything. It will just be like a waste. All of the benefits of laptop that come up because of the code that is written in it. A mobile phone by itself is nothing. A mobile phone by itself is just like a box. But a lot of economy, $1 billion plus economy has been built on it because of the code. Someone wrote the code of Instagram there. Someone wrote the code of Facebook there. Someone wrote the code of google.com there. That is what built the multi-trillion dollar economy that you see around you. Someone built apps there that gave birth to App Store. Someone built Play Store there. And how is all of this happening? All of this is happening because of the power of code. And who writes this code? This code is written by software engineers. This code is written by computer scientists. Computer scientists basically push the limits of computers. With just the same electronics, these days artificial intelligence is happening. And why is artificial intelligence happening? Because someone wrote the code to ingest a lot of data and train an AI on it. Someone wrote the code to take the input from the user and make the AI give the necessary output. Everything is the power of code. Now, once the infrastructure exists, once those electronics exist, what all can be built upon it is just what code can be written. And who will write that particular thing? That is what is going to be written by software engineers. That is why software engineers are so heavily in demand as of the day. Basically, anything that can be imagined, whose code can be written, will require a software engineer to. Nitish, thanks for being present in the recording. Okay, anything that can be imagined, anything whose code can be written is doable. Okay, that is what the power of software engineering is. This is what the power of computer science engineering is. This is what software engineers do. They write the code for the thing that you want to build. Okay. Now, there is a code, but code can be of multiple types. That is why for software engineers also, there are multiple branches that are there. So let us talk about branches of software engineering. Okay. And this is basically decided by the type of code that you will write. Type of code we will write. And this is how the future career options for all of you will also kind of look like. Okay, cool. Now, what are they? First, two very high paying, very large number of jobs available subdomains, which is front-end engineering and back-end engineering. Front-end engineering and back-end engineering. Now, what are front-end and back-end engineering? Okay, cool. Now see, when you all open Instagram.com, there are two things that you see. One is what comes on your screen, right? On your screen, there is a sidebar, there is a notification panel, there are some photos that you see. One is the user interface, the things that you are seeing around you. Okay. Now, the things that a user sees, the UI, that okay, there will be a sidebar here, there will be a button here, there will be a notification here, there will be a post here. The code of the part that the user will see is written by front-end engineers. Front-end engineers basically write the user-facing code. Okay, front-end, this code is in front of the user. This code is in front of the user. Okay, but imagine on the front end, you are seeing a lot of Instagram posts. But do you think those posts are stored on your device? Do you think Instagram already has all of the posts of all of the billions of users who are using Instagram on your device? No. When you open Instagram.com, your browser refreshes something. Your browser says, I'm loading something. Where is the browser loading these things from? What does the browser do, or what does the application do? The application, using internet, sends a request to a large number of computers that are probably somewhere in the US. Okay, these computers are called servers. These computers are called servers. So what does the user say? User basically opens Instagram. The front end of the Instagram, this is front end, sends a request via the internet to the backend. Okay, here all of the posts, etc. are stored. Here all of the posts, all of the user details, everything is stored. And that is why there are two type of engineers that come up. One is front-end engineers, second is back-end engineers. Front-end engineers know how to build good-looking websites. Websites that have very fast animation, websites that load very fast. Back-end engineers build large scalable websites, storing data very fast, fetching data very fast, so on and so forth. Everyone clear with what is the difference between front-end engineering and back-end engineering? Everyone completely clear? Okay, perfect. Now, another domain that is becoming very popular is data science. So these are code related. Now let us get to data related. Very first data related thing is data analyst. What is data analyst? See, companies or businesses work by making decisions. Businesses have to make decisions, then people will act upon those decisions, and then either the business will earn money or the business will lose money. If the business keeps earning money, overall everyone is going to be happy, people are going to earn a lot of money. If business loses money, one day the business is going to shut down. Now, how will a business make the decisions? For example, how do you make the decision of anything related to your career? For example, how do you decide whether I should join this college or that college? How will you decide that? By previous data, absolutely correct. You will ask that, hey, what was the placement percentage of your college last year? What was your placement percentage? Data. You will use the data to make the decision. How many students joined you last year? How many students joined you last year? Data. You will again use that to make your decision. So we ourselves as well use data to make the decisions. Correct. That is what businesses also do. Businesses also have a lot of data. For example, on most of the websites, any click that you do, that gets tracked. Any button that you click, any scroll that you do, anything that you input, everything gets tracked and stored on the backend. What do data analysts do? Data analysts analyze the data to analyze the data. From those data, they bring insights, and via those insights, they help with business decisions. Is this making sense to all of you? They see the data that is around. Using that data, they figure out insights. Oh, people from Delhi. For example, I will tell you about one interesting thing for us. For example, one day we realized people from South are having this kind of behavior, whereas people from North are having this kind of behavior. Now, based upon that, we can change how the website will look for those different kinds of personalities. Okay, that is an insight. And using that insight, a business decision is made. Everyone clear with what data analysts do? Everyone completely clear with what data analysts do? Perfect. Then the next thing is machine learning engineers. Machine learning engineers or data science, both are same. Data science, machine learning, and AI. Okay. All of these are very related fields. For example, let us say you have a lot of data with you. Okay, for example, you have a data that maybe you have a very simple data that, okay, this is the person. Okay, here you have, let us say, maybe JEE score of a user. Okay. And here you have which college did they go to. And you have multiple colleges. Which college did they go to? Okay. If you have a lot of data points for this, that okay, this person went here, 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 this person went here. Okay. In future, now someone new comes. Someone says that, hey, my JEE score is 180. Will you be able to predict probably where they will go? Will you be able to predict probably where will they go? The answer is yes. This is data science. Data science is making future predictions based upon past data. Making future predictions based upon past data. Okay. This is what data science is. This is what machine learning engineering is. This is what AI is. For example, all of us use ChatGPT. Do you know how ChatGPT works? In ChatGPT is actually not a human that is sitting behind. ChatGPT is actually a prediction model. ChatGPT is actually just a prediction model. What do I mean by prediction model? When you give some input to ChatGPT, for example, you give an input to ChatGPT, hi, I am. What will it do? It will say, based upon the past data, people after typing hi, I am, they typically type going. Then after having typed all of this, they typically type to. After having typed all of this, they typically type Delhi. And that is how ChatGPT gives you the results. ChatGPT at the end is nothing but a next world prediction model. This is what data science is. This is what machine learning is. This is what AI is. All of these works upon data. So that is what another type of code that you write. That is what another type of software engineers are. Everyone completely clear? Okay. Now, one last thing is, let's see. Everyone is using software these days, from children to adults to old people. Now, if something is used by a lot of people, obviously there will be malicious entities as well. There will be some people who will have malicious interests. They will want that, hey, can I somehow leak some information for other people? Can I somehow try to spam? Can I try to make maybe some kind of money just by looting other people? So it's important that we keep the internet secure. And what are the kind of engineers that write the code to make the internet slow? Sorry, to make the internet secure, to ensure that people are not getting their information leaked, to ensure that every website is highly secure, does not have any chance of leakage at all. That is where cyber security engineers also come into the picture. Cyber security engineers. Check it. So these are different branches of computer science. You should make a decision based upon what excites you. But talking in terms of jobs, the highest amount of jobs as of the day are in front-end engineering and back-end engineering. This is the first. The second type of jobs, the second in terms of ranking, is on data analysts and data scientists. Third is cybersecurity engineers. So this is first type of jobs. Most amount of jobs are there. This is second. This is third. In terms of salary, this is number of jobs. Okay, number of jobs. Number of jobs. In terms of salary, typically these get paid the highest. Okay, then these come. And finally is cybersecurity. Okay. Data scientists get paid the highest. Data analysts are actually less. So they are fourth in terms of salary. That is high level how the structure works. Okay. I hope this has given you a good amount of understanding about high level how the careers exist. Now, the thing is, how can I get into those careers? What are the prerequisites for these? Is there something that I should be good with to be able to have a career in these? What are the prerequisites? See, the three prerequisites of engineering still remain. What are those three prerequisites? The very first prerequisite is curiosity. Second is creativity. And the third one is problem solving. These three are going to remain even for this one. The three core prerequisites for engineering are true for computer science engineering as well, are true for software engineering as well. But then there are some other things. One is basic maths. Basic mathematical aptitude is very important for going into these fields. For example, you need to be especially very good with three things. One is linear algebra. Okay. Second is probability and statistics. Okay. And I will say, I mean, frankly speaking, I think we should just keep at these two. But third one can actually be your sets and other things. These are more than enough, but these are essential. So I will say these three, if you're good at, you're mostly there. Okay. This is also called discrete mathematics. By the way, typically colleges do teach this in the first year of the college as well, but they are kind of important to be a good engineer, because especially in things like machine learning, a lot of the concepts of linear algebra, probability and statistics, etc., will be used to create intelligent machine learning models. Okay. Cool. Then obviously you need to be good in programming. Again, you don't need to know programming already, but you need to be good in programming before you go and get a job. What does programming means? Programming means being able to write the code. You need to be good before you end up with a job. Obviously, you don't need to be good today, but ability to write program is going to be helpful for you before you will join the company. Now, you have basic maths. That means you have a good aptitude. You already have the three prerequisites: curiosity, creativity, and problem solving skills. And now you're good in programming. Now, exactly the question that Akshat has asked, which is which language? See, as I told you, you can program anything. You can program the front end, you can program the back end, you can program the data analyst models, you can program machine learning models. So you also need to have expertise in the niche that you're joining. For example, let us say you are joining as a backend engineer. You want to go into the domain of a backend engineer. Then you need to be good in something like maybe Python and Fast API. Or maybe you want to join as a front-end engineer. Then you need to be good in JavaScript and maybe React. Okay. Maybe you want to join as a machine learning engineer. Then you need to be good in Python. You also need to be good in machine learning related libraries, all of which you will learn when the course comes up, when the things start coming up. No need to push yourself today. Take rest. The career is a very long journey. No need to say that, okay, I will do everything today. Everything has a right time. Even during the college, don't directly go there. Okay, I will start learning machine learning. I will start learning React. Learn sequence by sequence. First, develop the fundamentals and then only go ahead. Okay. Now, one question that I typically get is that how will the future be? I mean, in future, will software engineers be needed? In future, will tech be even there? Will computer science still be the most popular branch? So let us talk about that. I mean, obviously, no one knows the future, maybe hundreds years down the line, or maybe even, I will say, 10 years down the line. But I can say what probably will be there 5 years down the line by the time when you will graduate. Okay, cool. See, all of us, as of the day, are seeing AI coming around us, right? Now, whenever a technology like AI comes up, or whenever any automation comes up, see, a prerequisite for AI was automation. Automation started becoming popular 20 years ago. Okay. AI is also automating things, but automating more advanced things. Okay. Whenever automation comes up, the very first thing happens is that the manual task basically means the tasks that required a human to be physically present, they slowly start fading away. But now, for them to fade away, you need to write code, you need to write software. And who will write the code? Who will write the software? That will be written by software engineers. So, till now, any automation that has come up has given an increase to the software engineering jobs. And in short term, this is expected to happen for AI engineers as well, for software engineers as well, because of AI. It is expected that in the next 5 years, because AI will start becoming more and more popular, many companies would want to automate away a few of the things that humans there do via AI. For example, customer support. Many companies have customer support. These days, ChatGPT can act much better than a human customer support person. Companies would want to automate that. For that, they would need someone to write the code that works with AI to automate that stuff. Who will write that? Again, a software engineer will write that. So, in the short term, maybe I can say 5 years down the line, the number of software engineering jobs will increase. Why? Because every company would want to automate away one or more functions of their org. For example, support. Support is one of the most common things that everyone agrees will happen. Okay. Now, the expectations from software engineers will increase though. As of the day, if someone wants to become a software engineer, if they have good understanding of DSA, they know one programming language, they can pick up. But I think the expectations from software engineers are going to increase. Expectations from software engineers are going to increase. What I mean by that is, if today you had to learn two things to be a software engineer, tomorrow you will have to maybe learn 10 things. Software engineers will be expected not to be just able to write the code, because code can also be written by AI now. But now software engineers will be expected to write good code. They will be expected to take up a problem statement and solve that end to end. So don't just write code, but also solve business problem around. Okay, write code that is scalable, write code that is maintainable. Okay, so till now, if someone can just write code, people used to hire them, but now code can even be written by AI. Basic code can even be written by AI. So the expectation from the engineers will be that you should be able to do more than code, which is basically able to solve a problem end to end. Is that clear? Okay, perfect. So that's the high level how we expect the future to be there. Uh, now, how are we envisioning the future? I think this is a few things that I wanted to cover. So if you feel you are someone who has a curiosity, who has a creative mindset, you want to be at the forefront of technology, you want to be a part of building the future, you should definitely join computer science engineering. This is the only domain that offers anyone from anywhere across the world to create impact. Yes, Scalar will teach AML, Scalar will teach everything. Okay. A person who is sitting at their hometown just with laptop and internet access can create impact across the world. This is not possible in any other branch. Okay. Why? Because internet is world spread, internet is global. You can be sitting anywhere and create impact across the globe. Okay. Cool. That is exactly what we are also, by the way, envisioning at Scalar School of Technology. I hope all of you have heard about Scalar School of Technology, but at Scalar School of Technology, we have the exact same mindset. We believe that in the next 10 years, the demand of software is going to multifold increase. The opportunities that India will have will multifold increase, because in India, as of the day, there are a lot of things that work manually. There will be a huge scope of engineering, software engineers to automate things, to bring AI here. Okay, so we are building a 4-year undergrad where we build engineers who are at forefront of technology, who create coolest things possible. For example, I'm not sure how many of you have known, but the first year students of Scalar have built something called a Scalar companion. Now, what is a Scalar companion? A Scalar companion is, think of it like a one-on-one Guru Dronacharya for everyone. Imagine you have a teacher that is present with you 24 by 7. They will answer your doubts, they will nudge you in the correct direction, they will teach you, they will help you revise. They are present with you 24/7. Our students have been able to, within the first year itself, win Smart India Hackathon. They have started multiple startups. Yes, it's an AI model. So a lot of things are there. Uh, and this is the kind of environment that we are building at Scalar School of Technology. I would definitely recommend all of you to try that. How many of you have actually explored Scalar School of Technology? How many of you have actually explored Scalar School of Technology? There are many people who have not. I will say go through the complete page of Scalar School of Technology. See what all has been built by the students of Scalar School of Technology, how Scalar School of Technology students are sitting at the forefront of technology. And I think this will motivate you towards what you should pursue ahead in your career. Okay. The campus is in Bangalore, which is the heart of technology in India. It's the Silicon Valley of India. It's where all of the progress is happening. Okay, cool. Uh, you should not actually just evaluate the fees. You should evaluate the return on investment. Okay, software engineering is a field I can say you. For example, engineers at Google with 5 years of experience make 1.7 CR these days. So huge potential. Okay. Anyways, correct. Okay. Now, that is primarily what I wanted to cover today. I think we are also getting out of time. So, I would want to just briefly talk about the psychometric test and then I will take up a few questions of all of you. Let me quickly share a screen. Just give me a moment. Yeah, I will take up that question, Dishpal. Basically, fundamentals are things like data structures and algorithms and operating systems, computer networks, and database management systems. Okay, cool. So, by the way, what I'm going to share now is also going to be shared with you later on via an email. Are you able to see my screen? We will email this to you within 3 days as well. So don't worry, within 3 days, we will email this to you. But just giving an idea. So all of you are going to get a 100% free psychometric test. You will have to click on a link. After you click on a link, I think there will be a button of Start Engineering Branch Selector. We will be giving you a unique code. Put that code and click on Apply Coupon. And once the code is applied, it will show the notification and then it is valid for 24 hours. For example, go to this particular page. There will be a particular coupon code that will be given to you. Every student will have a different coupon code. So please keep a lookout for this email ID, this email that is going to come in the next 3 days. Okay. Then go to this website, careerguide.com/scalar. Click on Start Engineering Branch Selector. Put your code, create an account. Okay, you will have to go through a particular form. After going through that particular form, a detailed report of you will be generated, which you can also access later, which you can also download later. I think it's going to be very helpful for you. The kind of questions that it asks are to basically understand what are the kind of things that excite you. Okay, and by knowing the kind of things that excite you, it will give you an understanding of where you might end up building a great future. Because if you are excited by something, regardless of how much does that pay, you will end up in the top 0.1% or top 1% of that domain. And if you end up in top 1% of a domain, you will end up earning a huge amount of money. Okay. So yeah, I will share all of this with you. Okay, don't worry. You will get all of these in the next 3 days. So please keep a lookout on that. Okay. Perfect. Cool. Yeah, this psychometric test is free. This psychometric test is free. Okay. Cool. Perfect. You will get that on your email within 3 days, Abhishek. Okay. Okay. By the way, quick check. How many of you have registered for the upcoming SST or NSET exam? I think you should register that. I think the very first step towards exploring your Scalar School of Technology future, being at the forefront of technology, is by registering for Scalar School of Technology's NSET exam. Please do that. I think uh, that will kind of give you, even the test will give you a feel of what are the kind of skills that are required. So there is a small fees for that, but I think that's going to be very helpful for you to understand your own interests. Okay. So we will share all of those links. Maybe that just wait for a few time. Okay. Our team members will come. They will share with you the links of all of these things. Okay. How you can register for NSET exam, etc. etc. Okay. Cool. Okay. Cool. Quickly. So just a second. Perfect. Okay, so quickly summarizing, uh, of all the branches, the branch that gives you the most amount of democratization for building the future is computer science and engineering. Writing code, writing software is going to be the most essential part of making the most amount from the machines. There are a lot of electronics that have already been built. What you get from them is going to happen via the code that you write, which is going to be done by software engineers. So I will highly encourage all of you to be a software engineer. But in today, when you be a software engineer, please ensure that how the world is evolving, the need of curiosity, the need of creativity, the need of problem solving is going to massively increase. Earlier, if someone could just write code, they would have gotten a job. But today, it is expected to not just write code, but also be able to take up end to end problem statements and solve them. Okay. So, um, please be a software engineer who is ready for future. That's going to be the next thing. Okay. Will degree matter in software engineering? It doesn't. There are a lot of articles on that. That software engineering is such a democratized field that if you have a lot of projects with you, if you can show that you can do the work, you have no limit at all. Regardless of where you are from, you can go wherever you want to go. For example, there's a friend of me who, within I think 2 years, was able to get an internship. They did great amount of work in the internship, and then they left the job. They left the college, and they got a great full time offer there itself, and they are earning a lot of money there. Okay, so no degree, a specific degree doesn't matter. Okay. By the way, now you can see, because many people were asking, right? How can I register for the NSET exam? What is it, etc., etc. So I'm happy to introduce you to Yash Dandavate. He has joined us in the session right now. He is from IIM Calcutta. He is from London Business School, and he will walk you through everything you need to know about SST's curriculum, NSET exam, and a lot more things. He's a great knowledgeable person. So please feel free to shoot all of your questions to him. I'm pretty sure that you're going to learn a lot from him, from his experience at IIM and London School of Business. Okay.
Hey,
So
hi
what's
Naman. Thank you for the introduction. I see a lot of questions popping in on the chat right away. But before I get started with telling you about SST, I want to know how much you know about SST. How much do you know about SST? A lot, little, nothing. Perfect. And I'm going to run this poll right away. Let's just. How much do you know about SST? Okay. Okay. I see a lot of questions coming in. And I really like when great questions come in, right? And I think questions are very important. मतलब नहीं पूछोगे तो how will you get your query solved, right? And asking questions is very important. Perfect. And I think maybe if there are questions which are coming, I will actually run a presentation for you guys so that it's easy. Do you want me to walk you through everything about SST in a presentation format for 15 minutes, or do you really want just one specific questions answered? How do we take it? Perfect. I think let's do a presentation. I've got a lot of this. Just give me a thumbs up if you want me to run like a proper 15 minutes presentation on everything SST. Fantastic. Yeah. Lovely response. Absolutely loving it. 15 minutes straight on SST. Absolutely. Let's do it. Perfect. So I'm sharing my screen right now. Okay. Let's do it. 1 second. And we'll also maybe cover up like why SST and why do we even need SST needs to exist today. Can you all see my screen? Question number 1. Is my screen visible? Perfect. Okay, I think great. Let's get started, right? So essentially, What is Scalar School of Technology? Right, Scalar School of Technology is one of the most premier tech institutions in India. Started with a vision to build an Ivy League institution for tech in India, right? And that's essentially what we are building. Why we are building SST, right? Because today, what's happening out there is 80 to 90% of the capital which is coming in India, the money which comes from outside to India, it's coming in AI, right? And there is a AI boom. I'm very sure all of you use one or two AI tools every day. What I'm just give me a thumbs up if you use AI tools every day, right? Grok, ChatGPT, Llama, whatever you guys use, right? And then that essentially means that the demand for people who are building AI tools, AI products, right, or rather training these models, it's really, really high and it's going to increase drastically, right? And that's why most capital is coming in. So we recognize this opportunity that AI is transforming the world. On the other hand, what's happening is every year 16 lakh people graduate from your BTech degrees, but only 16% are able to find jobs, and that also 80% of these jobs which people are finding are from computer science domain. But even though they are like a small chunk of this is finding jobs, you only have 2% people who are actually getting more than 8 lakh 8 lakh worth of opportunities, right, annually. And that sort of makes me think, right, like, are we doing the right thing in India by teaching people the right set of skill set? Are we helping students become future ready, have the right skill set? Right, that's, I think, a very important question to answer, and that's how we built Scalar School of Technology. Right, unfortunately today's colleges are not helping people get ready for jobs. Like, if you can see, like, IT companies are struggling to hire talent because students are not employable. And that's when we had Scalar School of Technology come in. So Scalar School of Technology was started by Mr. Anshuman Singh and Abhimanyu Saxena. Anshuman sir was right hand man of Mark Zuckerberg. How many of you know Mark Zuckerberg? How many of you know Facebook? Perfect. So Anshuman sir was one of the founding leaders at Facebook, built Facebook Messenger. He was the technical head for Facebook, built Facebook's London office, and then came to India. And when he came to India, he realized that engineers today are struggling in the market. They're not able, they don't have enough skill set, they're not confident, they don't know how to build things, right? What they are used to, right? They just mug up code and write code. And that's not engineering, right? In its true essence. And that's started Scalar School of Technology. So at Scalar School of Technology, we have a very strong focus, right? We have one dedicated program for 4 years, undergrad and master's program in computer science and AI. We are very selective. Last year, 12,000 students gave our entrance examination, Scalar NSET. We selected only 440 students. What's unique about us is here there is no theory. It's all about building projects, live working applications and products, right? That's how you learn. And who teaches you? You're taught by people who were in the industry, come from companies like Google, Microsoft, Amazon, and actually are now your mentors, full time teaching you at our campus in Bangalore. Our campus is also located in one of the most premier tech parks in Bangalore, which is Electronic City. So you literally have all companies you can think of, top tech companies, at walking distance, 1-2 minutes away walking from our campus. And the best part is an industry immersion program where all students spend 1 year actually working in industry, working at startups, doing internships, building tech projects in an innovation lab. And that's how they learn and develop hands-on skills. So before even I talk about like colleges, right? Like, I want to tell you all like a framework. Uh, I will tell you a very simple framework, right? Like, how do you choose college? All of you, give me a thumbs up if you are going to be selecting which college to go to this year. I'm telling you this as a mentor on how to think of looking at colleges, and probably Scalar can be one of the evaluation options, but you should evaluate your options. And these are the frameworks. What all things you should look at? You should look at what's the curriculum and what's the teaching method, because that's the where you actually gain skills, right? If you're taught well, if the curriculum is advanced, if the teachers are good, right, faculties, then the students and peers you are going to be with. What's the campus location? Is it near companies? Are companies close so that you can actually visit? Is it a metro or like a far away from the city? Also, what are the opportunities which I can do after this undergraduation, right? Can I go abroad? Can I give government exams? Can I work at top tech companies? Obviously, right? Then the culture and the student life. Then talk about the institutional credibility, and last is the admission process and the fees. So in no specific order, these are the 8 ways you need to evaluate any college. So put it on an Excel sheet and you should map it. So far, so clear. Can I go to the next step when I talk about benchmarking scalar with each of these parameters? Perfect. I need 50 SS to go ahead. I'm not moving ahead until I get 50 SS. Perfect. Brilliant. Excellent. Okay, let's get started now again. Perfect. Now, again, talking about the first thing, the curriculum, the program structure. It's very important to understand that, right? So at Scalar, we have a 4-year UG program in computer science and AI. We are a standalone institution, first in India, which only focuses on computer science and AI. And because that is our mission to create the best AI engineers and CS grads in the country and the world, right? That's why we only focus on AI. We have a 3-step unique approach in our curriculum. So it's called 2 plus 1 plus 1. So first 2 years you work on essentially learning and developing skills. And I'll actually, why am I doing this? If I want to tell you about the curriculum, I will tell you something even more exciting about what your curriculum looks like for the 4 years. But understanding के लिए basic 2 years of learning, third year specialization. Now for specialization, people do MTech and MS. You waste 2 more years of your life. But here in third year itself, you can do a specialization in AI, machine learning, cyber security of your choice. And fourth year, then once you have so much experience and learning, you go and apply your skill set in the industry. Now, who builds this curriculum? Can you see some familiar faces there? Quickly give me on chat. Do you recognize any of these names? Okay, Zomato is, all of them are recognizable. Zomato, Kunal, Cha. Interesting. Very smart. Fair. Okay. Okay, I can see a lot of exams. Yeah. Perfect. So now these are the people who actually came and built the SST's curriculum. So imagine you are literally learning the curriculum which is built by some of the biggest tech leaders of the country who are shaping the India's tech ecosystem, right? Now talking about curriculum, I will tell you. So there is no theory involved at SST. It's all practical, hands-on, project-based learning. So in the first year, foundation, you learn the building app. You will build a social media app. You will build an e-commerce site, IPL prediction mechanism. So you will build things. So you will have a portfolio of projects. So when an employer asks you, show me how you know React, show me how you know Python, you will actually be able to build these apps and show it to them so that it becomes a proof of work. So by the time you graduate from SST, you will have like 50 odd applications you would have built. Now, third year, you can choose specialization. Either you work on blockchain, you work on like AI, machine learning, algorithmic trading. So these are the different specializations. But again, you don't learn theory. You are learning by building. You are building like a Duolingo type app or YouTube recommendation algorithm system. So the entire philosophy of SST's education is learning by doing. If you know something, just build, right? Because that's how you develop a builder's mindset. In the fourth year, either you can work on an internship, work on innovation lab, you can work in startup incubation. We have some 20 plus startups at SST built right now. One Shark Tank got one startup got invested at Shark Tank, which where students were one of the founding team members of that, called Neo Sapien. Many more companies are there right now who are interning. So to give you some internship statistics, 93% of our second year students are right now actually interning in some of the best companies you can think of. Hold on. So it's a whole ecosystem. It's just not like you will have instructors, right? Like, who are your instructors? You have instructors who are your faculties who teach you full time. Then batch success managers, they're junior engineers who essentially stay with you in hostels to literally guide you, mentor you, and ensure that all doubts are solved. You have mentors and super mentors. So these are the faculties. These are full time faculties who come and teach you at SST. They mentor you, they guide you, they groom you. So imagine learning the skill set from the right person who has actually built Zomato. How crazy it is, right? Like, I'm learning how to build like an app like Zomato from somebody who has built. Uh, Aksha has a very interesting question. Aksha, no, you do not require any prior coding knowledge to join SST. All you require is to have a good mathematics. These are the super mentors. Imagine being mentored by leaders of Amazon, co-founders of Flipkart, co-founders of Paytm, Amazon leaders. Imagine being mentored by CTO of Disney Plus Hotstar. So this is the kind of ecosystem we are building at Scalar School of Technology. Like I mentioned, our students won startup incubated at SST, won funding at Shark Tank. We had a lot of ICBC, which is the Olympics for coding. We had a lot of students under 500 global ranks. Yeah, the number is 93 now. So just in second year, like, students have entered second year of their college and they're already interning. Average stipend is 30,000. We have few students who are also getting 1 lakh rupees from Zomato as stipend. So yeah, average is 30. Highest domestic internship stipend is 1 lakh 20,000 right now. And students have got international internships also. We are the first student from India to go to Apple Developers Academy in Bali, Indonesia. That's our student, second year. Got an internship in Bali in second year at Apple. Second, we have a student who is interning at a top AI startup in New York. We have a student who is interning at a company in Germany. So students are also working at top companies abroad within second year. And we have 1200 plus companies who come on in Scalar for internship hiring, for placement hiring. So you need not worry about how many companies will Scalar be able to bring. Scalar will be able to bring more companies than all the students exist in our campus. Right? So this is some testimonials of our students who are working. Maybe take 1 minute to read this. Okay. Now we can move to the next. I hope you guys read it. Give me a thumbs up if you guys were able to read it. Perfect. So yeah, now let's talk about quality of batchmates, right? So like I mentioned, Scalar last year 12,000 plus students applied, 440 students got in. Interestingly, 137 students who got to SST are currently in our campus were actually having offers from IITs, NITs, triple ITs, BITS, and other top colleges. Right? So these are some students. Students had offers from IIT Bombay, triple IT Hyderabad, NIT, BITS, Pilani, but they chose to join SST over these colleges. So that's, I think, one of the biggest moments of pride for us, that students are seeing SST as a prestigious institution. At the same time, they trust SST with their career options. So yeah, coming on campus, I think, let me maybe show you what the campus looks like. Can you all see the campus? Just 1 minute on campus. You guys tell me what are your feedback and thoughts on our campus after you see this video. Tell me how what do you think of the campus and everything. See a lot of questions. So yeah, we have a great social life. A lot of you were asking about social life. I hope you like. So Harsh, SST is very reliable. Again, we have great board of directors, very well backed, and I mean we have built this large infrastructure, so it's super reliable. In terms of employment, Scalar has existed for over a decade. We have great relationships with your Google, Microsoft, Amazon. In fact, in 2022, Amazon hired more people from Scalar than all IITs combined. So as reliable as an institution can become, right? Next is social life. Yes, we have a lot of student clubs, very active social life. Since you're in Bangalore, Bangalore is also great weather throughout the year. So we have an open source club, media club, coding club, cultural club. We have a college fest coming up this November. So a lot of activities and things. You can go through our YouTube channel, and we actually have a page also on our website, Life at SST. You should check out that. You will get enough insights on social life. Now, degree. Since Scalar School of Technology is a new age college, we don't provide a degree of our own, but we have partnered with three very prestigious institutions. One is IIT Madras, second is BITS Pilani, and third is Wolf University. So students have three options. Number one is you can do a 3 years bachelor's, which is a BSc from either a IIT Madras or BITS Pilani, and do a 1 year MS in computer science from Wolf University. Wolf is a recognized European university, so if you plan to go abroad, work abroad, a 4 year masters, 1 year masters from Wolf will suffice for that, right? So 3+1 option exists where you can do a BSc plus MS from Wolf University. Option number two is in case you want to keep your options open for a MTech in India, PhD in India, government exams like UPSC, MPSC, and IES, and all those exams, then your option is a 4 year BS in data science and application from IIT Madras or a 4 year BSc honors in computer science from BITS Pilani. Neither of these degrees say online. Both these programs have their independent exams which they conduct at SST campus itself. SST will have its own exams. So I hope this gives you some clarity. You can read about these exams more. So these are the degrees which we provide. Outcomes at SST again. So Scalar placed more than more students at Amazon than all IITs combined. We have helped over 5,000 plus students place. Very strong innovation lab focus. Our students built things like firefighting drones, AI glasses for blind, and Bashini projects. Essentially, help like our Prime Minister translate when he came to Kannada. Shark Tank funding. Other students are also building their own startups. 20 plus startups coming out of it. So yeah, if you take the 4-year option, let's say you do a 4-year BS in data science and applications from IIT Madras, then you can do higher education, competitive exams in India, global work opportunities. You qualify for everything. Now I'll tell you how SST students are different. Imagine, okay, by the time students graduate from SST, uh, students graduate from SST, what all do you have? You have 50 plus products and apps you have built as a part of your curriculum. Second is you have 1 year of work experience via internships or via your own startups, right? Which others don't have. So third is you have a specialization, which for which people they have to do another 2 years of masters to get a specialization, right? You already have that, and if you choose that 1 year MS option, you will already have a masters too. So you are already like 10 times more competent, capable, and preferred in the employer and the job market than any other student who's graduating from other traditional colleges, right? So that is how SST is like a 10x advantage for students. How our students also see it. So yeah, the application process is very simple. There is an online application form on our website which you can fill, and I'll share the link with you on chat for that. There is an entrance exam called Scalar NSET. It's an online exam, entrance exam, 2 hours proctored. You need a webcam with computer or a laptop to take that exam. The syllabus is logical reasoning and mathematics. The best part is we do not have physics or chemistry. So if you are weak in either of the two, uh, you can join. You can think of applying to SST if your math is strong, I would say. Right? So far, so clear. 2 hour long online exam, mathematics and logical reasoning. Uh, what you really need to understand here is you need to be JE level mathematics, permutation, combination, sequence, these kind of topics will come. You can the detailed curriculum. Once you fill the application, you will get detailed NSET preparation guide. Okay. So yeah, application fee and all you can see on the website. I'll share the details with you for the same. After you clear the entrance, you go for interview. There are 2 rounds of interview. First round of interview is taken by a AI. It's an online live interview. Again, mathematics and aspirations is what you can expect. Prepare an introduction for yourself. Why SST, have that very clear in your head, right? Second round will be taken by one of our mentors from Google, Microsoft, Amazon, Flipkart kind of companies, or a faculty who comes from these backgrounds. And then you will get a decision within 30 days. There are scholarships also, and there's a profile based shortlisting. So let's say that you are done really well in your JE bits at, let's say, 97, 98%. You have built some great, exciting tech projects. So in that case, even if you don't clear the cutoff for our entrance exam, we'll still shortlist you for the interview by a profile based shortlisting. So if any of you have above 95 percentile in JE, 300 plus in BITSAT, have done well in academics like CBSE, ICSE 90% above, plus you guys have some very strong extracurriculars in tech, entrepreneurship, right? In those cases, you really should apply, and you can get an, even if you don't clear the cutoff for an entrance, you can still get shortlisted for the interview. And yeah, we have like multiple scholarships. We have merit-based scholarships based on your 10, 12 JE BITSAT, your extracurricular tech achievements, and we have a need-based based on your financial needs. If your financial income is below 5 lakh and you have all the certificates to prove that, then you might qualify for that. So yeah, this is pretty much about Scalar School of Technology. I will share the links with you on the chat in case you want to check out the website. But I would suggest that all of you go check out the website in detail before you apply. Do your own research if you're planning to apply. And the most important thing which I want to tell you is the current upcoming exam now, the deadline is 24th April. You need to, and the exam is on 26th and 27th. You can pick only one slot. Okay. Uh, so from May onwards, it might get a little competitive, but I think up to you folks how you think about it. May slots are not live right now. It will be live soon, but April, May, if you want to apply, Harsh, you can't give it from phone. If April, May you want to apply, I would recommend you applying now, because you will then have sufficient study material and all you will get, right? You will get all the prep material so that you can prepare for the entrance exam for over next 10 days, and then you can do really well on 26th and 27th. I have a question, scalar versus Newton. Harsh, I think, sorry, Yatharth, what I think is the framework I gave you, right? The 8 parameters. I think you can put not just the two of these, but any of the colleges, others you are evaluating in that framework, to each their own, right? Again, Krishna, same with bits. Put it in a framework. Sir, why did you join Scalar School of Technology? Good question. I am really passionate about tech. I've been an AI founder before. I truly believe in SST's ability to create some of the best AI engineers. I personally recommend a lot of SST students in my network to different startups. Psychometric test will come in 3 to 5 days. Firstly, can you all click on the notice board link? Can you just give me a thumbs up if you can go and click on that and see if it works for you? Are you able to access the page? So the exams will be in May, June, July also, but earlier the better because June, July onwards all the toppers start applying, so that it becomes super competitive. Like I mentioned, the selection rate is 4%. So exam, right? So good question. So you can give NCET exam 3 times, but once in every month. So in April, if you have given once, then May you can give once, June May you can give once, right? That also if you don't clear the exam. Now let's say if you clear the exam and shortlisted for interview. Interview you can only give twice. So about Itash, the way we design it, right, is like if you study for Scalar's curriculum, the curriculum for IIT or BITS also gets covered mostly. Whatever additional preparatory classes are required, we take care of that. Kumar has a question: IIT Delhi Computer Science or Scalar School of Technology? Kumar, if you are getting an IIT Delhi Computer Science, you should go for IIT Delhi Computer Science and not SST. That's a plain answer. But if you are getting a mechanical, civil, electrical, metallurgical, or any other branches apart from CSC in IIT Delhi, you will waste 4 years of your life studying what you are not interested in and not develop the skills which are required for opportunity. Okay. Prajwal is asking, can you tell us a little more about degree? Sure. Fees you can again check on the link I've shared above. I will tell you about the degree, right? So Prajwal, what happens is the BITS Pilani degree is also online available, right? So essentially what government has done, according to the new education policy, they want to make education accessible to all. So the IIT Madras degree is also available. You can enroll on your own also. But what happens, you will only get like recorded courses and exams. What SST does is our focus is helping you become industry ready and give you the right skill set, right? Why we are partnering with IIT Madras or BITS Pilani for a degree, so that your options are more wider, right? You can do an MTech, you can do a PhD, you can do like a government exam. The goal of SST is not that. Our goal is to help you become the tech leader of the world, right? Today your top companies like Google, Microsoft, Amazon, I'm not Amazon, Google, Microsoft, HCL, all these guys have Indian CEOs and CTOs. Can our students become these global leaders tomorrow? That's our vision as an institution. So profile-based shortlisting, if you have great JE scores, VITSAT scores, if you have great 10, 12 scores, if you have built tech projects before, then you can submit this and you can be eligible for profile-based shortlisting. Krishna, BITS Pilani CSC versus Scalar, BITS Pilani CSC. You should choose that. If you have any other branches, we have a lot of students who left mechanical, electrical of BITS Pilani to come and join SST. Classes start in August. What is NCET cutoff? It depends. Again, it's selective. It's depends intake to intake. So, Prem, the degree is not through distance learning. Nowhere on your degree certificate it will even see the word online. These are equivalent according to the new education policy to your all normal degrees. There is no difference altogether. In fact, the brands of IIT Madras and BITS Pilani and the skill set you develop at SST along with the work experience. Now, if you say that you will have difficulty in applying for jobs, how are 93% of our students at SST already interning? And others are getting funding and building companies, right? The companies would have said, no, we want a specific degree, right? Companies are looking for highly skilled students. How are SSC students getting 1 lakh stipends? I wouldn't recommend anybody from taking a drop year. Go to any college of your choice, but don't take a drop year. Again, like I said, What matters is the skill set you develop, not the degree. So scholarship is dependent on merit and need based. So if you have financial need and we see that a candidate is genuinely intelligent and we want that candidate to be in our institution, we will support with a scholarship. It will be from 20 to 80% typically, depending on merit. Some advice to students after 12 joining SST: you don't require coding knowledge before joining, but maybe watch some podcasts around tech, AI. So many things are happening every day in AI and tech. It's a ever growing field. I would really be very. I would highly recommend everyone to I would highly recommend everyone to start reading more about AI. Be curious. Curiosity is important. Okay, I think fees again you can check on the website. I think I've tried answering all the questions. Placements, yeah. So again, like I said, we have 12,000 plus employment partners. Intern may only everybody got internship. Whoever was looking for it, great outcomes. Online will be not written on degree certificate. PW versus SST, SST. That's a very clear answer there. Okay. Is it a better option to go US for undergrad? Currently, US is not a great market, very honestly. So I wouldn't recommend anybody currently going to US. Oh, so I think 10 days, if you've already prepared for JEE and other entrances, 10 days should be sufficient for you to prepare for NSET. I think I've tried answering all my questions. I hope AI versus software, it's the same thing in future, honestly. I will check BSc in. I think both degrees are same again.